story is I was found in a box in a park in Iraq by soldiers and then taken to an orphanage. The soldiers were from two different lands. One was an Iranian, the other is Iraqi. And he grabbed the box. They both heard this child cry and they grabbed the box and they took the box to an orphanage in Baghdad. And that child was me. And I was raised there for about 8 years of my life. But when I was found with no birth certificate, no passport, no paperwork whatsoever. So I was, in the eyes of the legal system, I wasn't alive. You know, we're all born with supposed identities, but what is an identity, right? So that's something that, you know, has really kind of sunk into me for years and years. The Middle East is where I started singing. When you hear bombs, you see gunshots, you have people's blood on your hands and on your body. It's a pretty vicious cycle over there. And, you know, I always say life is controlled by perception. We don't have control over anything else. Our brain, our arms, we don't control that. There's something bigger and more powerful at work, and that's our brain. Right? We're not controlling our brain as people or whatever it is. And so when I was in Iraq, perception I had of the world was it was all war, it was all death, it was sadness, it was screams, it was hatred. But that was the perception I had. So when you hear about children and kids growing up to be suicide bombers or, you know, joining organizations like ISIS, and there's so many things, like, if I wasn't raised in that environment, I would naively say that's evil, they're not good people, all this. They're actually some of the most beautiful people over there. But the problem is their perception of life is only in hatred. They're raised to be people of hate. And it can be changed. Music was my way to escape that reality and that perception. Music was my salvation, it was my escape, it was my tool to survive. Today, music isn't my tool to survive. It's my tool to shift people's perceptions. You know, Novus is awesome. Well, now, you know, every business, every corporation, every company, every brand isn't defined from what that brand is. It's defined by the people in it. Novus is just a way for Kunal's vision of life and perception of life. It's a tool like music for me it is. Novus, I believe, is a tool for that message, that dream, that achievable impossibles to essentially come to fruition, right? And so Novus is extraordinary because it's not like any other. It's definitely one of a kind. And as it keeps going over the next years, it's gonna get better and more powerful, more impactful into this world. And it's something we need.